Question 106.13. Questioner, could Ra recommend what I should do to improve my state of health? Answer, I am Ra. We tread most close to the law of confusion in this instance, but feel the appropriateness of speaking due to potentially fatal results for the instrument. We pause to give the questioner and the scribe a few moments of space-time to aid us by stepping away from those distortions which cause us to invoke the law of confusion. This would be helpful. A few moments pause. I am Ra. We appreciate your attempts. Even confusion on your behalf is helpful. The questioner has, in the recent past, allowed a complete transfer of mental-emotional pain from the questioner to the instrument. The key to this deleterious working was when the instrument said words to the effect of the meaning that it would be the questioner and be the strong one. The questioner could be as the instrument, small and foolish. The questioner, in full ignorance of the firm intent of the instrument and not grasping the possibility of any such energy transfer, agreed. These two entities have been as one for a timeless period and have manifested this in your space-time. Thusly, the deleterious working occurred. By agreement in care and caution it may be undone. We urge the attention to thanksgiving and harmony on the part of the questioner. We may affirm the previous recommendation in general of the skills and the purity of intention of the one known as Bob, and may note the sympathetic illness which has occurred due to the instrument's sensitivities. Lastly, we may note that to the one known as Peter several aspects of the distortions experienced by the questioner, the instrument, and the scribe may be quite apparent and rather simply traduced to lesser distortions. Question 106.14. Questioner, what is Peter's last name? I am not familiar with who he is. Answer, I am Ra. The name by which this entity chooses to be known is Inman. Question 106.15. Questioner, does Ra think that surgery in my case would be of any help? Answer, I am Ra. We assume you speak of the colonic indisposition and its potential aid by your Kaya organs. Is this correct? Question 106.16. Questioner, yes. Ra, again, I am Ra. Please blow across the face and heart of the instrument. This was done as directed. I am Ra. We shall continue. The atmosphere has been meticulously prepared. However, there are those elements which cause difficulty to the instrument, the neurasthenia of the right side of the face being added to other arthritically energized pain flares. Such an operation would be of aid in the event that the entity chose this physical cleansing as an event which collaborated with changes in the mental, emotional, and physical orientations of the entity. Without the latter choice, the distortion would recur. Question 106.17. Questioner, now, going back to summarizing what we can do for the instrument is through praise and thanksgiving. Is that all that we can do other than advising her to drink a considerable amount of liquid and moving her into a better atmosphere? Am I correct on that? Answer, I am Ra. We examine the statement and find two items missing, one important relative to the other. The chief addition is the grasping of the entity's nature. The less important is, for little it may seem to be perhaps helpful, that as the entity absorbs much medication and finds it useful to feed itself when these substances are ingested. The substitution of substances such as fruit juice for the cookie is recommended, and, further, the ingestion of substances containing sucrose which are not liquid is not recommended within 4 of your hours before the sleeping period. Question 106.18. Questioner, with my experience with the dehumidifiers, I think that it will probably be impossible to lower the humidity in that house much. We can try that, and probably if we do move in there, we will have to move out very shortly. Is there anything else that needs to be done to complete the healing of Jim's kidney problem? Answer, I am Ra. If it be realized that the condition shall linger in potential for some months after the surcease of all medication, then care will be taken and all will continue well. We may know that, for the purposes you intend, the location, Hobbs Park Road, whether humid or arid, is uncharacteristically well suited. The aggravated present distortions of the instrument having abated due to lack of acute catalyst, the condition of the location about which the assumption was made is extremely beneficial. Question 106.19. Questioner, then you are saying that the effect of the humidity, we will try to get it as low as possible, is a relatively minor consideration when all of the other factors of the Hobbs Park Road address are taken into consideration. Is this correct? Answer, I am Ra. Yes. Question 106.20. Questioner, I am quite concerned about the instrument's health at this point. I must ask if there is anything I have failed to consider with respect to the health of the instrument. Is there anything at all that we can do for her to improve her condition other than that which has already been recommended? Answer, I am Ra. All is most wholeheartedly oriented for support here. Perceive the group as here, a location in time-space. Within this true home, keep the light touch. Laugh together, and find joy in and with each other. All else is most fully accomplished or planned for accomplishment. Question 106.21. Questioner, is it as efficacious to cleanse the house with salt and water after we move in as it is before we move in? Answer, I am Ra. In this case it is not an urgent metaphysical concern as timing would be in a less benign and happy atmosphere. One notes the relative simplicity of accomplishing such prior to occupancy. This is unimportant except as regards the catalyst with which you wish to deal. Question 106.22. Questioner, can you tell me what the instrument's difficulty was with her last whirlpool? Answer, I am Ra. The instrument took on the mental emotional nature and distortion complex of the questioner as we have previously noted. The instrument has been taking whirling waters at temperatures which are too hot and at rates of vibration which, when compounded by the heat of the swirling waters, bring about the state of light shock as you would call the distortion. The mind complex has inadequate oxygen in this distorted state and is weakened. In this state the instrument, having the questioner's distortion without the questioner's strength of the distortion one might liken to the wearing of armor, began to enter into an acute psychotic episode. When the state of shock was past the symptoms disappeared. The potential remains as the empathic identity has not been relinquished, and both the questioner and the instrument live as entities in a portion of the mental-emotional complex of the instrument. May we ask for one more full query at this working and remind the instrument that it is appropriate to reserve some small portion of energy before a working. Question 106.23. Questioner, I would just ask if there is anything that we can do to make the instrument more comfortable or to help her and to improve the contact, and what would be the soonest that Ra would recommend the next contact? I would certainly appreciate the return of the Golden Hawk. It gave me great comfort. Answer, I am Ra. You have complete freedom to schedule workings. We suggest the nature of all manifestation to be illusory and functional only insofar as the entity turns from shape and shadow to the One. I am Ra. We leave you, my friends, in the love and in the glorious light of the One Infinite Creator. Go forth, then, rejoicing in the power and in the peace of the One Infinite Creator. Adonai.